What's going on, all right? It's Afro Think Tank. Somalis are taking over Minnesota and white folks are flipping out. Now, listen, Somalis, them Africans, me as an African American, we got issues with them, right? Because they're very xenophobic and hateful towards their brothers, the African Americans. Well, a lot of them are. Not all of them, because I know some Somalis. They're cool, you know what I'm saying? There's the Somalis, but culturally, because of that Arabism, all right, you got that Somalis, that Sudanese, that Ethiopian, that East African. Y'all got some issues, all right? Y'all got to hash out. Y'all got to get rid of that Arab superiority shit. But on another note, right? So white folks are panicking because they believe that Minnesota is supposed to be white, all right? They don't want these goddamn Somalis invading and shit, right? You got goddamn Dearborn, Michigan. You got the other Arabs, right? The Muslim brown people taking over that other white place, right? And then you got the goddamn Somalis taking over Minnesota, super white, right? If anybody, you should blame them white people in suits that imported all of the refugees from the countries that they and their best friends invaded, destroyed, and stole. Yeah, do that shit, all right? Because the only reason them Somalis are there in Minnesota, the only reason why you got all the other Arabs up there in them predominantly white European states that no self-respecting African-American would ever travel to unless we got offered a ridiculous job or just we're going passing through. We don't even go to that country called Middle of America with them white folks. We don't go there. All right, it's dangerous. We know that. It's like going to fucking Iran. We're not going there, right? But they sent you guys there to isolate you black people in a little enclave. You guys took advantage. You got your cousins and all your friends and shit. I'm all for it, right? Come on, right? Apparently, based off white people in America, you know what I'm saying? They clearly came over here and didn't respect the indigenous population of the land, right? They took over. Minnesota used to belong to Native Americans. California used to belong to Native Americans. Texas used to belong to Native Americans. Matter of fact, how about the whole America used to belong to these other people that was here first? These white folks from Europe, they just showed up and manifest destiny. They decided this is a indigenous white country made by their fantasies, right? So, with that being all said and everything, this being America, right? That means any other group can come over here and establish themselves, utilizing their own manifest destiny, and take over the spot. Why not? Why only white people get to take over from other people and maintain and take control? Why can't the Somalis do it? What's the problem? So it's good for you to do it. So when y'all went to Minnesota and y'all stole the shit from the Native Americans, when y'all murdered them, killed them, scalped them, stole their children, took their names, took their culture, took their religion, took everything from them, took their identity, and only thing you did was pay $5, pretend like you're a Native American so you can open up a casino and make money for white people pretending like you're Native Americans, right? So y'all can do all that. But the Somalis, who you guys are the reason why they're even there in the first place, because just like white people always do, y'all see some shit black or brown people got, y'all go over there, y'all want to take it, right? Y'all give them a label, y'all go and attack, y'all bomb, y'all kill, y'all murder, y'all fuck up whole countries, and then when those people want to live a better life, they're forced to live in a Death Star, which is America. And then y'all complain that they're over here. And then y'all talk shit about their countries as if you're not the reason why their country's fucked up. Every African country's fucked up because of white people. Yet white people will sit there with their fucking smug, arrogant asses and be like, you have shithole countries. You guys need to get your shit together. Why can't you get your shit together while simultaneously bombing them? Literally, we're still bombing Somalia. We still got special forces in Somalia. The American CIA still finances all the terrorist organizations that destabilize all the African countries and Arab and Asian countries in order to take their resources. They're still doing it right now. Bags of US dollars is being dropped on a bunch of Arabs in the middle of the African desert in order for them to destabilize African countries. And y'all mad because black folks are peacefully coming to America and establish themselves in communities and building themselves, pulling themselves up from their own bootstraps, like y'all say, right? They pulling themselves up from their bootstraps. So why don't you white folks in America, if you don't like, listen, you white folks, if you don't like what's going on here in America, why don't you go back to Europe? How about you go back to your shithole peninsula? How about that? Y'all white folks like to call Africa shithole, but y'all go on vacation there all the time. Y'all love calling it a shithole, but y'all can't keep y'all little nasty ass mayonnaise fucking infested fucking fingers out of Africa all the time, right? Y'all don't want to stay in your European ass countries, huh? Your shithole ass ice boxes that y'all run away from. Y'all don't want to stay there. That's why y'all keep running every other place, huh? Your homeland is Europe, yet you trying to pretend like it's America. What y'all talking about, shithole? You want to talk about shithole? You guys used to throw shit out of holes that y'all call windows onto your streets. You guys are the manifestation of feces, all right? You guys are the feces human beings on the planet. Shit, you want to talk about shithole? All of Europe is a literal frozen shitty popsicle, all right? Shitty popsicle of fucking blood and shit, all right? You want and cold weather and shit. You want to talk about Africa, beautiful Africa, the place that you want everything and everybody from. Get the hell out of here. Listen, y'all white folks in America, y'all don't value anything that belongs to you. You only value stealing from others. So with that same spirit, let the Somalis come and take everything that you think belongs to you, because that is the American way. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
Yeah, this is getting crazy. They got the police chief out in Minnesota, ladies and gentlemen, because Somalis have been caught, right? The refugees, so-called, have been caught in fraud and scam and literally funneling money back to Al-Shabaab, a terrorist organization in Somalia, using taxpayer dollars. And now they're literally on camera with the police chief addressing and asking for forgiveness. You guys got to check this out. So what happened here, a lot of people have a criticism. A group of Somalis literally were speaking in their native language, and then they had to translate over live on TV, and then the police chief took over to say this. Take a look at this wild and bizarre exchange, to where he says these problems must be addressed because they don't want to go back home and be sent back. These are people that claim refuge to say that they're fleeing Somalia, but yet there are fraud and scams being literally orchestrated to send money back to Somalia. So what is the truth here? Should they be sent back home? Well, here we go.
The Somali community here in Minneapolis has been welcoming and has shown love towards me, and I appreciate it. Over the last 3 years, we have been working together to try and address some of the real serious problems that we have in our community. We have to be honest at times with the problems that we're having in our community, and we need our community to help us fix those problems together, because it's real and it's serious. At the same time, if people have taken anything that I have said out of context in a way that's caused harm, I apologize, and I'm sorry for that, because that's not my intention at all.
So he is apologizing because they got caught scamming, and all of these things are happening under Tim Walz's watch that Trump is calling them out for. And now you have the police chief apologizing for, he's apologizing for exposing the crimes that have happened. I mean, take a look at this. Breaking: Minnesota Police Chief O'Hara asked for forgiveness for exposing the reality of Somali criminal activity in Minneapolis. He has a Somalian translator as he apologizes for enforcing the law. This entire thing is just insane. So I was reading more and more into this, and this thing gets actually crazy, because this is, again, all happening under Tim Walz's watch. So here's where things get very, very crazy. I want to, for those who actually don't even know, these are thousands of voters and a lot of people who are, again, worried about being sent back and being literally taken into consideration to be deported by the Trump administration because of the scamming that is going on, and Trump literally took unto his own. If you don't believe me, well, let's just look at this.
Tonight, Major breaking news. The Somali community in the United States are now facing a trough in the United States, whereby Donald Trump went ahead and actually said they need to be deported over fraud. He announced an immediate termination of temporary deportation in Minnesota, citing fraud. And let me tell you, the Somalians in the United States are actually protesting, whereby some of them in Minnesota are saying they are there to stay, they never get there by mistake. You won't believe this. And according to reports, half of the Somali community in Minneapolis, Minnesota, got there by fraud, according to the Immigration and Customs Services. The allegation include fake marriages, fake documents, fake sponsorship, whereby a lot of people say they are doing business with a particular company, but when they try to cite on that particular company, they find it non and void, and some of them have actually visa overstayed. And according to reports, the operation targets specific cases identified by data, not the entire Somalia community. And let me tell you, according to other people, they're saying USCIC did not specify which community were involved in this particular fraud indication. Anyway, my Somalia people from Africa, tell us what's not happening.
The Democrats have no leader. They remind me of Somalia. And I met the president of Somalia. I told him about the problem he's got. I said, you have somebody from Somalia who's telling us how to run our country. She's from Somalia. He said, would you like to take her back? He said, no, I don't want her.
So Trump is planning to deport a whole community of Somalis in Minnesota. He posted on his Truth Social that he will end the protection for the people of Somali origin, who are apparently, they have the largest community in Minnesota. So, like thousands of Somalis live in Minnesota, and Trump said that he is going to deport them because he said that they are terrifying the people of the United States of America. Can I say, I think at this point, it looks like Trump has completely lost his marbles. I mean, he lost them a very long time ago. But now he's just, you know, before, like, you remember where he just used to be tweeting everything when he was in, like, he'll be tweeting all night. I think he's gone back to tweeting all night. Like, what have the Somalis done to you? I don't know. I've never been to Minnesota, so I have no idea what the Somalis in Minnesota are getting up to. But to say that a whole community, the young, the old, the infirm, the whole community are in gangs, that's insane.
Minnesota is home to the largest Somali population in the country. Today, they spoke out by breaking bread together. At a potluck designed to highlight unity, they said Trump is attacking Minnesota communities. Our Jason Rantala has the story.
Nothing can divide us.
Community members packed the 4th floor of Carmel Mall, the first Somali mall in the country, calling out what they say is hateful rhetoric from President Trump.
We know what our president has done. It is an attack on our community.
Trump took to social media Friday night, claiming without evidence that Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state. Trump said Minnesota had become a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. Quote, send them back to where they came from. It's over.
99.99% of the Somali community are hardworking. They're good neighbors. We're trying our best.
Somali community members say the president's tweet is a distraction from the country's current affordability crisis.
He decided to also pit our communities against each other and attack our community.
I mean, we can't be Minnesota without them. They're part of us.
Friends Cece McAlpin and Lori Carlson came here from St. Louis Park.
And I'm here to prove Donald Trump wrong, that these people are not causing trouble in our communities and in our cities. I want to prove them wrong and not just stay home and take this slap to the face.
Community members say they're here to stay, that Trump won't tear them apart.
The president's tweet cannot divide us, and it cannot change who we are.
In Minneapolis, Jason Rantala, WCCO News.
There are 705 Somali immigrants in the U.S. approved for TPS. President Trump has not provided further details on his plans.
So why is the United States bombing Somalia, and why has it increased its bombing of Somalia? The United States has been bombing Somalia for the last 10 years. Airstrikes take place here and there. They justify it and they say we are bombing militants. The United States is funding these militants. Not only is the United States funding these militants, they're giving them weapons. It's very likely that they're also training these militants. So then they use the presence of these militants to then justify the bombing of civilians and the murdering of people and their camels and the desecration of water wells. So I want to share with you the recent increase in American airstrikes against Somalia and what the Somalis are saying when they witness these things. So this is by an article called Somalia/US. Let me see that again. Somalia/US airstrikes in Somalia. This is what the Somalis are saying. Dozens of civilians have been killed and wounded in Somalia as US-led airstrikes against militants increased to unprecedented levels. The escalation in airstrikes is part of Trump administration's border foreign policy strategy in Africa and Middle East. There have been 34 US airstrikes in Somalia in the last 6 months, at least twice the total of the whole of 2016, which is when they started maybe around, did I say 10 years? Maybe around 20 years, since 2006. Regional allies active in the campaign against these militants in East African countries have conducted many missions. These regional allies include the Kenyan military. Almost all the airstrikes target militants affiliated with extreme movements in establishing Islamic State in Somalia. Somalia is a Muslim state. Why would you need to establish that? In 5 attacks since July, more than 50 civilians have been killed or injured. 5 civilians were killed and 2 were wounded in an airstrike in a village on December 6th. Another incident occurred in October. Residents and medics report up to 8 people being injured in an airstrike. The previous month, 4 herders were killed along with when a water well near the border with Kenya was bombed. Who was it bombed by? The Kenyan military. When these 4 herders were injured, about 20 of their camels were killed. So this is a destruction of not only the infrastructure and the agricultural infrastructure of Somalis, but also the livestock and the means of livelihood of the Somali people. Airstrikes have also killed a large number of livestock, causing extreme damage done to agricultural infrastructure. Through the intensity of the recent airstrikes, though the intensity of recent airstrikes is unprecedented, right? There's just more happening. The use of air power in Somalia has increased steadily since before Donald Trump. And we know that Obama has bombed Somalia the most. A recent analysis describes 74 strikes between January of 2016 and October 2017, resulting in 57 people dead. This is probably an underreported number. Only 14 of these airstrikes were US supported, and the rest is blamed on Kenya. Kenya contributes troops and 3 attack helicopters to the African Union mission in Somalia. The 22,000 strong African Union military and policing mission in Somalia, Kenyan forces are also believed to have conducted their own airstrikes. Remember those camel herders that I talked about? They were bombed by and killed by Kenyans, or by Kenya. Some of the dead or injured may be fighters with armed tribal militias who are civilian people. So calling them extremists is unjust and criminal. The sudden increase in the use of air power in Somalia by the US comes after a relaxation of guidelines intended to prevent civilian casualties, and a decision made by the Trump administration to give local military commanders greater authority in attacking and killing people. So why is the United States bombing Somalia, and why has it increased?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.